Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad that you're here because tonight we're going to be talking about the NHL playoffs and we're going to give the updates. Now, you guys, as you know, these first round series have been fire. Now, there's a couple that aren't great and are already over, but for the rest of them, they're absolutely fantastic. Must-see TV, as I like to say. And yeah, there is a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And so in the comments tonight, whether you're watching this live or watching this later, here's the big question I want you to post in the comments is which of the remaining series are you finding the most entertaining and why? So post it in the comments. Now, a couple things I need to talk to you about before we dive in. We're going to get into every single series tonight, and even the ones that are already eliminated. There's a couple of cool storylines that are happening. But if you're watching on YouTube, there is a vertical one that I'm doing, plus a full-size stream. So make sure, if depending on what you're watching on, if you're watching on computer or you're watching on your phone, you might want different options. There's two different ones that are going live right this minute. Okay, so let's first talk about actually the one that just ended right now in overtime, and that's why I started late because I was watching the overtime, is the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Utah Mammoth. Now, the Mammoth are one of the biggest storylines in the NHL playoffs right now. What they are doing on a nightly basis is absolutely stellar. Okay? So we're sitting there watching this and just like their speed, their talent, their tenacity, them and the Ducks are kind of reminding me of two different things. Or sorry, the same thing, just two different teams. They have confidence. I'm watching both of these teams and going, they're like, we're going to win. Like that is their mentality. And they should have that mentality. And you're like, RevTrev, that should be normal. It's like, I know it should be normal, but it's not. It's not. So you just have to remember that some of these guys are in their first time ever being in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they playing with this kind of confidence. I'm loving it. That's why it's making these series so much better. And that's why they shouldn't have the attitude of like, oh, we're lucky to be there. It's like we know we don't know how many of these we're going to get, and we're going to try. It's not like you're not guaranteed to be Kopitar and play 20 years. Some of them, like, you might never play in the playoffs again. This is your moment. This is your opportunity. As Eminem says, you have one shot. And so it's been so much fun. And that overtime, that game, it could have went both ways. Vegas scored twice. The first one, the offside got called back. It was clearly when that offside happened, I'm like, that looks offside to me. Then they scored in this weird goal. And next thing you know, they get called off. The team's excited. Utah fans are pumped. By the way, those jerseys are absolutely amazing with that big mammoth symbol with the Utah patches on the top there as well. But that mammoth symbol, the colors just pop. Love it. But the Vegas Golden Knights, I picked them to win this series, but we knew that this was going to be a tough series. And big, huge goal. You've got some character guys there in Vegas. They went with Carter Hart, and smart move, okay? Absolutely smart move. Now, I know for some of you, it's really, really late. So we're going to keep going. I don't want to be too much into this, but if you look at this this Mammoth team, man, they look fantastic. And they have some solid players there. Sergachev, by the way, for example, and Uyghur on the defense have really solidified. Marino on defense, they're getting good goaltending as well. I'm loving what I'm seeing with the Vegas series with Utah. Cooley looks like he belongs. Looks like he's one of the top players in the NHL. It's been a lot of fun to watch. But the reason why I picked these guys to win it all is because of this fact right here that these guys have had experience for a while. And you get the Barbashevs and the Eichels and the Mark Stones. And then you got Marner out there who is flying around. You've got the size of their defensemen with Hannafin and Rasmus Anderson. And then, I think Carter Hart's a good enough goalie. So they win in overtime 5-4. What a series this is. Now, let's get into the next series, which I think most people are going to want to talk about tonight. And it's this one with the Penguins and the let's bring this one on. The Penguins and the Flyers. Now, this was surprising that Philadelphia went up 3-0. Porter Martone has just been lights out. Couple game-winning goals. We know that. We've talked about this on the channel. But what happened in Game 4 that is very significant is they made a goalie change. They made a goalie change, and they took out Skinner, who's got 2 cup runs, right? And they put in Artur Shilovs. Love this. And as Canuck fans, we know he can make a humongous difference. He is making a huge difference. He has won 2 games in a row. They went into Philly and won on a must win. And then the next night, again, must win at home. And they show up, and it's guys like Letang, Carlson, Crosby, the veterans that are coming to play. Then you got Shilovs in net, and it's just been amazing. And so for Canucks fans, the question about this amazing series that Philly still has got the stranglehold on them, but if you lose Game 6, I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose Game 7. You are not going to go into the, what do they even call it, the igloo anymore? And you're not going to go in there, and you're not going to win that game. I'm sorry, with their experience, with their prowess, Philly's got to win in Philly Game 6. But hey, as a Canucks fan, are you missing Shilovs right now? Like, it's so hard to look back, hindsight 2020. It wasn't even, that was last season, this last season. We traded him to Philly. He played great for us. He had 5 playoff wins in Vancouver, and now he has 2 playoff wins in Pittsburgh. Like, are Canuck fans missing Shilovs? I think the answer is yes. Like, how many of you are sitting here going, why did we sign Demko and let Shilovs walk? I love Demko. I think he's one of the best goalies on the planet, and that's the answer why. That's why we're keeping him. But cannot stay healthy. And that's just like, oh, this year it's going to be different. That's what you said last year. That's what you said the year before. It is brutal. So here, would you prefer Shilovs and Lankinen, or would you prefer Lankinen and Tolopilo at the moment? That's the question. That's the question. Here, this is where we're at. Actually, it wouldn't be that. It's Demko and Lankinen, or Lankinen and Shilovs. That's what it would be. It's just that Demko's injured. But this storyline, and here's the big one, is Sidney Crosby just doesn't lose series very often. He rarely loses in big moments, and here he is. And it says no team in NHL history has come back from trailing 3-0 in a series, 151 series in the NHL. This is craziness. Is this going to be the first? Is this going to be the first? Because it just might be. It just might be. And just as I'm looking here, Dreamer is here and says, Shilovs is proving his worth. Hughes being mid. Mid? Come on, man. When he's not mid, I've been watching that series. He's not looking anything mid. There's nothing mid about Quinn Hughes. He's elite. But yeah. Speaking of which, they tied up the series as well. Martin says that Shilovs is clutch. I agree. And now we're going to move to the next one that everyone's talking about. And this is the biggest conversation that's going on, is the Edmonton Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. Now, something's in my eye. Okay. Let's just talk about that again. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, and I got to take this down because this doesn't make any sense to have this there. The Edmonton Oilers versus the Anaheim Ducks. I picked the Ducks to lose in 5. The Edmonton, with their experience, with 2 long runs, they were going to take out the inexperienced Ducks. I was wrong, so wrong. And now the biggest controversy on the planet is this right here. Like, what is going on, everyone? And Oiler fans are losing their minds. You know what? They're like, it's what the ref called. It doesn't really matter. What matters is this, in my opinion, is that they get the call right. And to me, that call's right. If you look at it's just physics. Is it physics? Yeah, physics. Sorry. We had it's just like right there, the size of that puck, that means that it's crossed the line. Now you're saying you don't see it. I think if you're cheering for Oilers, you're believing this. I'm not cheering for either one of these teams, but funny story is I don't really like the Ducks, even though, they're young and they built things up. And then I respect the Oilers, but I don't cheer for them because they're our division rivals. But I do feel bad for McDavid. And you know what? I'm actually starting to feel bad for the Edmonton Oilers. I know this is weird for me to say, but I feel bad that they are losing 3-1. Like, how is it even possible? Now, the Florida Panthers went to the finals 3 years in a row. Edmonton went 2 years. It's hard to keep the success going. I get it. But I'm finding myself now pulling for this Edmonton story, pulling for a Game 7, hoping that they come back. I have a friend that's actually going to be at the game tomorrow night. This is going to be, it's another must-win game, and that's where we're at. These Game 4s have been really important, and that was a devastating loss for the Edmonton Oilers. And whatever your opinion is on this, the end of the day is it counted, and they're moving on, and the Ducks are up 3-1, and this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Post in the comments what you think about this one. Kango says Oilers are in trouble. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Martin says sad seeing Edmonton getting roasted, to be honest. And then Edmonton looks exhausted. Oh, yeah, it's geometry. Sorry, my bad. It's a goal more than EP41 that was near the line. Okay. They needed Kane. Exactly, Dreamer. Exactly. Does this remind of the Chicago Blackhawks winning their first Stanley Cup 2010? I don't know if that reminds me of that. I don't know at all. I do feel bad for McDavid too. Injured probably too. Yeah, probably injured, but you know what it is? It's playoffs. You got to play through it, and he is. He is. So that's the big news. That's the big news in Edmonton. So do they win? Game 5? Must win Game 5, must win Game 6, must win Game 7. We're about to find out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Okay. So let's go into another series that I think, and I'm not going to talk long about these ones, but the Minnesota Stars and the Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars, this series tied at 2 has been everything that we'd hoped for. This is exactly, most people predicted that this series would go to 7, that this one would be tough. So meanwhile, Colorado sweeps the LA Kings like I predicted, like many people predicted. And then this one, it's a bloodbath, and they got to play Colorado, who's rested. That is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. So Game 5, humongous. Now, Minnesota just won in overtime. So to make it 2-2, it could have been 3-1, just like Edmonton and Anaheim, but it is not. So Game 5 coming up, and I believe that's tomorrow of all games. So again, must-see TV. Who are you cheering for? Who do you think is going to win that game? I'm cheering for Minnesota. I love Quinn Hughes. I love Kaprizov, watching that guy play. Matt Boldy, like watching him play. I love Wally in net for them as well. I like that fourth line that they got. Dallas, been impressing me, I'll be honest with you. So post in the comments who you think is going to win that series. Now, The next, I'm going to leave one of the best series for last, but I'm going to do this Buffalo series. I thought Boston was going to come out in a better way. I'm glad to see Buffalo having the success that they have had. I'll take this down here because I no longer need to see this. So this series has been everything that the Buffalo Sabres had hoped for. This is what they have had, a phenomenal season. They have been so fantastic. They're fun to watch. And here they are. And Boston, I saw a video by a Boston fan said, "Hey, I went to the game wondering if Ticketmaster will give me my money back because that was terrible." Well, dude, imagine having that for the entire season being a Canucks fan. Just saying. We lost 6-1 a lot, 5-1 a lot, 4-0. It sucks. But to go to Boston's arena at home and to lay an egg like that, to get beat down like that doesn't. You think Edmonton's in trouble? I think Boston's in trouble. And Swayman is ticked. He got pulled. He was angry. He should be. It was not the reason why they lost. Yeah, so that one looks, it looks like it's over, but it's never over, right? We thought the Penguins were done. They're not. Then we have the Carolina Hurricanes and Ottawa Senators. Carolina sweeps the Sens 4-0. And this is the biggest news out of thing is what's going to happen now with Brady Tkachuk. They call him 007, 0 goals, 0 assists, and 7 penalty minutes per game. He was not effective. He did not play well. On his podcast with his brother, he was talking the high praises of Tortorella, wanting to go to Vegas, be a part of that, wants to get coached by him. So is he going to get traded in the offseason? Is he going to be done? Is he going to go to Florida? They have a high pick. Can they trade a high pick for Brady Tkachuk and something else? I'm not Brady and something. It'd be a high pick plus something else. Get Brady Tkachuk, maybe 2 firsts and a prospect, and get Brady out of there and go to Florida. Could you do that? That's possible. What's going to happen with this guy? I don't think he's staying in Canada much longer. I'll tell you that. For free. So that series. And then if we just talk quickly about the Carolina Hurricanes, guys, this team, I knew they are one of the elite teams. And what's surprising me about the Carolina Hurricanes right now is that they handled the physicality of Ottawa. Ottawa just came to beat them down, and they dished it out as well. But they are way more skilled. They're a better team, and I knew that they were going to win. I didn't think they were going to sweep them, but I can't remember if I picked 4. No, I think I picked 5 or 6. I'd probably pick 6 just because I usually series end in 6. But Carolina, I think Carolina's going to beat either Philly or Pittsburgh. You've heard of me. I've already got that in my predictions, but you heard it here again. Carolina Hurricanes are going to go to the semifinals, which would be the Eastern Conference Finals. That they are too good not to. Now, obviously, I'd be cheering for Philly or Pittsburgh or for Carolina, but that's just not going to happen, everyone. This team is loaded with talent, and their physicality and their goaltending has been fantastic as well. So I'm surprised. Okay, now let's see. I got 17 comments. Oh, one guy just said okay like a whole bunch of times. Okay. So you've missed a lot of the series too. Watch a few periods. That's a good one. I predicted Minnesota over the Stars in 7. I did too. Yeah, Buffalo looks like they're hungry, determined, and driven. Absolutely. Kango says Ottawa getting swept surprised me. I was surprised that they got swept. And Ryan says, okay, a lot. And I don't know. Okay, sounds good. All right. So, and then Buffalo had the right ingredients to win. They're gritty, tough. I guess I can remove this now. They're gritty, tough, good checking, decent goaltending, and have some talent, they might make it. They're not. They have a good chance, but I think this next series that we're going to talk about might be better. I had Canes in 7. Wow, you gave them a lot of credit. Isn't it lame? What are we talking about that? All right, that's awkward. Annoying. All righty. Blood Visions. Let's just keep it to hockey, man. That's all we want to do. That's what I want to talk about. So I won't be commenting on anything else there. All right, let's get into the last 2 series, right? Or is it the last series? I've talked about everyone except for this one. And this could be the best series in the entire first round. Tampa Bay, Montreal. I picked Tampa Bay to win the whole thing. And I'm sitting there watching them and I'm going, man, they're good. But then Montreal, I knew they were skilled. I just didn't think that their goaltending would hold up. And it was Vasilevsky versus, who's it? The name is evading me right now, but Montreal with their speed and their skill and again, a team that's like, we want to win. We're expecting to win. Their desire, their effort, their skill set, fantastic to watch. Definitely Tampa Bay with their incredible, and I'm talking about incredible experience, incredible physicality, which is weird. You don't usually talk about them this season. It's like they've turned a corner in their physicality. And Brandon Hagel has been lights out, scored the tying goal and the game winner in overtime. Kucherov, obviously, big part of that as well. I am absolutely loving everything about this Montreal Canadiens Tampa Bay Lightning series. And whoever wins this series, I'm cheering to make it to the finals. That's how much I like these 2 teams. So that's where I'm at. And I'm excited about. But you post in the comments what you think about this series because it is absolutely amazing. Now, Montreal going toe-to-toe with Tampa is something else. With what a phenomenal series, Martin says. If they beat Tampa, they might win the cup. That would be awesome. Slavarsky got smoked last game, but he keeps going. My friend Tony's in the building. He is all about his Habs, and rightfully so. The most winningest franchise in NHL history, and it's not close. No one's going to catch that title. But the Habs, they're looking good. They're looking good. So we're about to find out who's going to win that series. It is absolutely stellar, this series, and I am loving every minute of it. So tomorrow, going to be watching the Oilers game, of course. Tampa Bay game, I believe, is tomorrow. Let me just bring that up. I just want to see what is it saying. Let's go to scores here. Scores. So this is tonight's games. We've already talked about it. But tomorrow, 2 big games. Okay, so not the Montreal game tomorrow. That's Wednesday night. But Wild Stars tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Buffalo and the Boston Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres start at 4:30 Pacific time, and at 7 p.m. Pacific time, Oilers Ducks in a must-win game for them. So Boston has to win. Oilers have to win to stay alive, or they're both eliminated. And then Wednesday, you've got the craziest matchup. Canadiens, Lightning, Penguins, Flyers, Mammoth, Golden Knights. Wow. All these games, absolutely crucial games. So this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, everyone. And so, I didn't want to hit that. I want to hit this. So, yeah, which one of these remaining series do you find the most entertaining and why? But yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. There's other videos that I'm making. I've been making a ton of content, lots of short content. a minute and a half or shorter. And as you know, it was just my birthday last week, so I've been celebrating that, and then also making content on my NFL channel, RevTrev NFL, about my Packers. There's lots of I've been making a ton of content. So yeah, it's been a wild, wonderful sports season. And then May 5th for every Canucks fan is massive and important. I hope we get a top 2 pick in the lottery draft. We'll see. That's coming up very, very soon. This Friday is May 1st. So that means next week, Tuesday, we're going to, so almost just over a week away. Well, it's almost a week away because we're an hour away from a week away. So guys, this is going to be great. I'm going to go live for that as well. I really, really hope. Now, Canucks news, just quickly. It's all about the GM. And the problem is there, and I don't mind that they're doing an extensive search, but I'm just finding this so boring that every day there's two more names, or one more name. And it's like, I'm glad you're doing an extensive search, but I'm just exhausted. And it's probably because the season was so horrific. There was so much drama. There was so much challenge. I did not enjoy the season as much as I thought I would, but of course not, because this year has been a disaster. But now that it's over, there's a lot to look forward to. We're trying to rebuild this thing. Who's going to be a GM? I have no idea. And people keep messaging me. Who do you think? Is it going to be Gillis or Dahlman? There's so many. Doan, Whitney, Ryan Johnson. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know all the people they're talking to. That's how extensive they're going. So we'll find out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. For sure. Okay, just a couple quick questions or comments left, and before we end tonight. The refs this year are questionable. Don't matter who you cheer for. Not rigged, just off. That's a fair. I actually like that, Martin, as a lot. I do agree that there is a lot there. There is a lot there that's been desired to have better officiating. But, I mean, they're playing at a high level, and they always do in the playoffs. But, yeah, apparently they're going after all these scrums now, especially in the Philly series, that anyone that's super aggressive is just going to get a penalty, and that's how they're gonna nip it in the bud. It'll be interesting to see. But I don't think that Edmonton one is that questionable. I just think after looking at the review, it's a goal for Anaheim. It just is what it is. The Anaheim player just knew it was in right there, saw it in. So, and the way he reacted, I mean, these guys play. They know. Jonathan says Habs in 6. They definitely could win in 6. They also could lose in 6. Watching Montreal playing with every ounce of energy they have is entertaining. I agree. And Kango says, happy birthday. Thanks, man. Yeah, that was last Thursday. So, all right. I'm going to call it a night. I got a big day tomorrow at work, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me tonight. I'm not going to do a promo or an exit video or anything like that. I'm just going to call it a night. Again, as a Canucks fan, a lot of us are missing She Loves. Congratulations to them winning 2 games in a row and trying to keep staying alive. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow and the next day. It's going to be interesting, absolutely interesting. So we're going to call it a night. Just seeing there's 2 more comments. Jonathan thinks they got robbed last game. If you talk, the Habs did. Oh, that's fair. It's fair. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like, subscribe. I love doing passionate, realistic, and honest content. And NHL playoffs updates. The Pens, Oilers, Mammoth have been huge stories. And, of course, the Montreal Canadiens as well. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.